are in listen-only mode.
Hello, I'm Peter Towers, Managing Director of ESS BIZTOOLS. Welcome to this overview of how ESS BIZTOOLS Gold Package can create opportunities for your professional firm. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day to visit us. The products and services that I'm going to show you have been prepared by an experienced team of accountants, administrative assistants and consultants to assist accountants and business advisors to deliver a range of non-compliance services to small, medium enterprises. If you have any questions, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au, or telephone on 1-800-232-088. We want you to clearly understand how this product can help you deliver a range of professional services to your clients. So in the first instance, I just wanted to show you the chart for ESS BizTools so that you could understand where the various components fit. We started originally with the ESS BizTools, and then that related to the development of papers and some various forms and tutorials. There's now a significant amount of material in that space. But then we started to develop the product. So we've got business advisory services, which is divided into two components: the training material to assist in getting your team ready to be able to deliver this new range of products and services, and the actual product modules. And then we have the other aspects of the products. We have the Business Plus newsletter, we have the client mentoring and coaching modules, leadership modules, and the client seminars and webinars. And I'm going to take you through each of those in a short while. And we also have the ESS Biz Grants package, which is part of the Gold package, which assists in the identification of grants for individual clients. So the first area I want to start with is the Business Advisory Services training modules. This assists in preparing the team that is going to be involved in the delivery. Our recommendation is that you appoint a facilitator to guide you through this process. The facilitator could be a partner, a senior manager, or an external consultant that guides you through this process. Within the material, there is specific items prepared for the facilitator to assist the facilitator to guide the team on this journey. We suggest a weekly team meeting of the team that's going to be involved in business advisory services delivery, 1 to 2 hours over a 3-month period to get the team ready. And the facilitator will chair this process and will mentor each of the participants to ensure that they are being appropriately prepared for the tasks. So let's just have a look at the Business Advisory Services training packages that have been prepared for you. We're now going on to the website. So here's the summary. There are 11 modules. I'll just try to center that. 11 modules. Introduction to Business Advisory Services, Getting Organized, Team Training, Leadership Strategies, Small Medium Enterprise Needs Analysis, Marketing Strategies, Review of Products, Planning Seminar to launch the Business Advisory Services, Selling Business Advisory Services, one-on-one meetings, and then implementation of a Business Advisory Services strategy for your clients. If you click on the name of the module, you will get a summary. So in this case, we have a webinar to start the program, which will guide you through this particular package. And then there's a list of the individual components that are in the package. In each of our products, we suggest you use the procedure control form that we've prepared, which guides you through the process. All of our articles have this double line. That space above the double line is yours to use if you're a subscriber to badge the product. You can put your name on it, your logo, your address. This is the suggested order that we believe that this training package should be delivered in. So that material's there ready for you to use with the facilitator. There's a number of articles here which we'd suggest you read. I'll show you a couple of these forms. There's a form for completion by the team members, your accountants and other people who are going to be involved in this process, to ask them to give management some feedback. What do they like doing? What don't they like doing? Are they interested in being involved in the delivery of a broader range of services? So to try to understand what they think, we've divided this into accountancy services, mainly the taxation area and financial planning. And then we've moved into a list of business advisory services components that they can indicate whether they have an interest in being involved in that work. And this will give you some feedback as to which of your team members are interested in being involved. You might just have a look at the SME needs analysis. Again, there's a webinar that you can watch, and we'll just skip the procedure control form and have a look at the needs analysis form. So this first of all looks at your current business performance of this client that you're examining. This stage, of course, this is a briefing as to what this form's about. So it poses some questions that you could put to the client to get their feedback, to get their comment, to find out whether they're understanding these various issues. You can see there's a number of issues there, including corporate governance, government grants. Are they obtaining government grants? Or have they found out that one of their competitors got a government grant that they knew nothing about? Risk management areas, we've got the Personal Property Securities Register. Are they aware of it? Have they had a check of their systems undertaken by you? Research and development, are they doing any? Are they doing research and development of over $20,000 and they're not a company? This is what this is trying to unearth. Are they undertaking export activities? If so, are they spending more than $15,000 in a year on export marketing activities? Are they aware of the Export Market Development Grant? Are they interested in raising capital? Do they want to talk to you about the crowdsourced funding or the early stage innovation company? Have they got a business plan? Is it up to date, or are they interested in having you prepare a business plan? Unashamedly, this is a menu of services trying to prompt a client. Then we move into taxation planning. I'm always intrigued that when surveys are conducted with small businesses, that they nominate that one of the areas they're looking for more advice from accountants on is taxation planning. Now that's normally with a whole range of other things that now form the business advisory services category, but they always nominate taxation planning. Then we move into the future planning. Are they interested in a business plan, budgets, evaluation of their business, wealth creation items, risk management, insurance covers, So what this is trying to do is to identify services that the client might want you to supply. So what you're doing at this stage in the training program is obviously gaining some familiarity with what's in this form. Now, if your firm decides that they don't want to deliver some of these services, you can do one or two things. You can edit the material and not have that particular service included, or you can leave it there, and if a client nominates that they want that service undertaken, that you then enter into an arrangements with a service provider who you can trust, who will not try to pinch your client, who can deliver that service for your client. That is the recommendation I would make. Now, if you don't want to talk to any firms in your immediate location, you can contact us, and we within the ESS BIZTOOLS office may be able to assist your client to undertake that particular project, or we'll be able to come back with a recommendation on one of our other subscribers who is not in your immediate area, who's not a direct competitor, who might be able to do that work for your client, so that you are seen to still being able to deliver that service to your client. You don't have to deliver all of these services yourselves. So that's the overview of, very quickly, in this sort of briefing webinar of the Business Advisory Services training package. We now move into the Business Advisory Services product modules. There's currently 15 product modules. We are developing another 3, maybe 4 a year. All the supporting materials included. We have developed these product modules on the basis that accountants and business advisors are going to use them. We hope you don't have to develop any other material to deliver these services to your clients. So we'll click on to there. And these are underneath the training packages. So here's the list of the individual product modules. Early stage innovation, debtors systems manuals, CFO services, PPSR, succession, business planning, budgets and cash flow forecasts, cash flow management, strategic business mentoring, selling a business, buying a business, and business health checks on those 5 industries. Crowdsource funding is also included, and I'll show you where that is in a moment. And we are developing 3 new ones for this year: research and development, raising capital, corporate governance are the 3 subjects we're currently working on. To give you an idea what the final product looks like, we just click on Access, and if you are a subscriber, you can then move into the preliminary summary. On early stage innovation companies, there is a special webinar for the product explaining how the system works. And then we got the procedure control form. And I'm just going to show you the ESIC calculator. So this is a spreadsheet that we've developed which facilitates the determination as to whether a client qualifies. I'll just go back to the beginning. As a early stage innovation company, the first segment is checking the company itself, and the date of incorporation is very important. There is some other determinations then to make sure the company is under 3 years old. In some cases, the company can be 3 to 6 years old, so we've got the determination factor there. Or it could be an Australian business number that's been registered in the last 3 years. And then we move into the points calculation, the gateway test. The company has to accumulate more than 100 points, so you can earn points for each stage. Research and development, are they in the accelerator commercialization program? Have they been in a accelerator program? And then there's various statements got to be obtained. Have they raised at least $50,000 from arm's length investors in the business? Does the company hold any patents or plant breeders' rights under an Australian or foreign law? Do they hold an innovation patent or registered designs? And you can see by the information we've got in this form, this is all going to be able to be proven to the satisfaction of an investor, but ultimately the satisfaction of the Australian Taxation Office and Oz Industry. So if they have accumulated 100 points, they're going to pass on that test. But if they don't pass that test, they can then move into the principles test. So that's also summarized here. And this is looking at whether they've genuinely developed to commercialize one or new improved products, whether it's got high growth potential, whether it can be scaled, whether there are global markets interested or is it only the local market, and whether there is competitive advantages. The answers that the tax office and Oz Industry are looking for is more than a one-line response. These are fairly similar to questions asked in the Accelerating Commercialisation program, and in that program they look for 500-word responses to each of those questions. So that's what that form's about. There's all sorts of other information contained there. We haven't really got the time to go through that now. That's what I want you to look at. We're just giving you a briefing that this material exists in the package. If you want to look at Chief Financial Officer Service, again, there's a webinar to get started. There's a special webinar on the Setting Retail Price Calculator. There's a further webinar looking at what's contained in this particular package. And then there's a broad range of material. And the way the procedure control form is established, it guides you through this process. So the procedure control form's got these separate sections. And we've broken it down into all these various steps to guide you through the process. Because CFO services covers a lot of things. So there's an article that you can read. There's the SME needs analysis obviously comes into play. It's a whole range of material. There's a section to help you prepare a quotation and an engagement letter. And then we move into the financial function, which is looking at expenses and cost controls and those type of things that a CFO might be looking at. Looking at capital expenditure, looking at how financial accounts are prepared. Are they management accounts or just for the tax office? General ledger integrity. Calculation of ratios, key performance indicators, benchmarking reports. Then we move into the commercial functions. Human resources. And there's articles there to give you more information. Then the finance treasury functions, looking at sources of finance and banks and relationships with them and so on. So there's a wide range of material that you might not want to use it all with a particular client, but if you do, it's there. It's at your fingertips. You can just download it, read it, and then utilize the information contained therein to assist you in delivering those services to your clients. The next area we're going to look at is we've developed a separate website called essbassett.com.au, And this is where we are promoting individual products. So we're going to have a look at the crowdsourced funding, equity raising. So if you were interested in just subscribing to an individual product, this is the site that we've got all the information on. So here's the summary on crowdsourced funding equity raising package, which is the government's newest package to assist small, medium enterprises to be able to raise capital. There's general material there identifying what's got to be done. So you can sign up, or you can move into a video on crowdsourced funding. And we have a webinar on crowdsourced funding. And this is all part of the material that you're able to look at now as you're trying to hopefully make up your mind to become a subscriber to ESS BizTools. Now, all of this package material that's available in ESS BASIP is also part of the gold package. So a gold subscriber receives everything that we have developed. But if you wish, you can subscribe for individual products. It will cost you more, but if that suits your firm, you can go down that path. The next one I want to go to is client mentoring coaching. This is modules to assist you to educate clients as to the type of services that you can provide. For many years, accountants have basically told clients that we could prepare an annual set of accounts and a tax return, obviously do the GST, lodge their business activity statements, and do a little bit of other work, but not much more. In fact, if you look at benchmarking.com's reports in the Australian accounting industry, you'll probably find around 92% of the income is stated as having come from either annual account preparation or tax returns. So if you're going to start meeting the challenge to provide business advisory services, I think it's very important that you start to educate your clients as to the type of services that you can make available to them. So we've developed client mentoring and coaching, 12 modules. It really came about because I got a phone call one night from one of our subscribers in Perth, or late one afternoon, and he said, "Can you help me? I've been meaning to ring you for days, but I forgot. But in about 2 hours' time, I've got a person coming to see me who's one of Perth's leading business people, and I want to impress him. So I want to show him some of your material because I really believe it helps differentiate us in our marketplace." And that's really what we believe the ESS BizTools materials will do for you. So I quickly mentioned some of our papers that I thought he could show this particular gentleman. And then he said to me, "Why don't you put this into a product package so that next week when I got a brand new client coming in who's only just talking about starting a business, I don't have to ring you." Oh, that's a good idea. So at this stage, we've got these 12 modules. We are going to expand this by another 3 or 4 over the next 12 months. So what we've done is assembled some material that we suggest that you mail or email or put into a binder and send to your clients. I like the concept of emailing material each week. So how about I show you the experience management, because that's what we produce for that particular subscriber. Now this has got 10 series in it. We call them series, so 10 dispatches if you like. So if you sent one a week over 10 weeks, if you sent one a fortnight over a 20-week period. Now the first series is looking at characteristics of a well-run business. So what's included in here is a letter that goes to your client explaining to the client what this is about. Now that's a suggested letter that you could place on your letterhead to send to your client. If you want to develop your own letter, that's quite okay. And also within each series is a survey form. We want the client to be able to tell you what they think of this material. You would badge the material across the top with your name, logo, etc. and send this with the printout to the client, and then have someone ring them 4 or 5 days after they receive this to see how they reacted to the material that's been sent to them. And very importantly, what you're wanting them to do is send this survey form back to you and to really note what their comments or suggestions are. Because hopefully what they will be saying to you, this was very interesting, I want you to do something similar to this in our business for us. And that way, this material will help you generate revenue, generate a new source of revenue for your firm. So let's have a look at the key paper here. Now, some of these series, when they go out, have got half a dozen papers. This one is a particularly large paper. So it is the main item that's been sent to them. And this is all built around what we believe is the top 20 characteristics of a well-run business. It's based on material that Andrew Getty, some of you will remember, he's still around. I shouldn't say it in past tense like that. But Andrew, when he was with Financial Management Research Centre, which originally was at the University of New England in Armidale, wrote a paper called Characteristics of a Well-Run Business. At that stage, he'd identified about 7 or 8 characteristics. With his approval, we've expanded it over the years, and we're now up to 20 characteristics. In our material, we do have characteristics for a retail business, and I think there's about 25 characteristics there. And we have characteristics for a manufacturing business, and I think we get up to about 30 characteristics. So this is an article you're sending a client that we're calling experienced. They've got through the startup stage. They are committed. They're wanting to know more about their business operations. So we're taking them through the characteristics. And what we find is that clients read this, think about it, have a discussion with you and say, gee, I'd like to be able to tick the boxes that I've got all of these characteristics properly implemented in my business, and I'm going to need some assistance to do this. There's the opening for you to then talk to the client about supplying that assistance so that they can improve their business. And the bottom line in all of the ESS BizTools material is we want this material to assist you to be able to advise your client on how they can build added value into their business. I was an accountant for a long time. I've also been the chief financial officer in a public company. And I can assure you that not many people have ever thanked me for preparing an annual set of accounts and a tax return. But I've had all sorts of thank yous and gifts sent to me for business planning, for this type of work, for going through and identifying where the business can improve its performance so that they might be adding value. Clients do see value in this type of work. They've been asking in survey after survey over the last 15 years for someone to be more responsive to their requirements in this area, the business advisory area. So hopefully this brief overview is giving you an idea of the material that's available within the ESS BizTools package to assist you to deliver these type of services to your clients. So that's the client mentoring and coaching modules. The next one is client seminars and webinars. I think seminars, webinars are the best marketing tool that accountants have got. So we've developed for you 35 seminars, webinars that are ready for you to work with your clients to deliver services beyond compliance. So let's have a look at the seminars and webinars. And when we get there, you'll notice that there are a series of seminars or webinars that are designed for 1 hour presentation. But there's other seminars that, and I don't think you'd present them as webinars, that can go in sessions up to 15 hours. So we've got a program that looks at 5 sessions of 3 hours that you might deliver. We've got clients that actually deliver these programs. So the ones that are numbered over 1,000, these are numbers there, of course, are 1-hour webinars or seminars. And the ones before, in brackets after their name, is the suggested presentation period. There is a half-day seminar and a one-day seminar because some of our subscribers like doing that. They have a half-day seminar or a one-day seminar. I think there's tremendous benefit from you developing a seminar program, and over about 30 weeks of the year, so avoid the major holidays, avoid the school holiday periods. Normally around mid-February to the end of November, develop a seminar program where once a week you would have a seminar, or once a month if you want it to be, and deliver products in the seminars that you are interested in delivering to your clients. And a lot of these may well be in these 1-hour packages, and we've got a few more we're developing over the next 12 months that will be in the 1 hour. Now, 1 hour is an ideal time for a seminar. Kick it off at 5:30 p.m, finish by 6:30 p.m. Everyone's gone by 7 p.m. It suits modern work practices. You can prepare them as webinars and record them if you wish. And these days, a lot of accountants and business advisors have got clients situated all over Australia. So that's why we're suggesting you present them also as webinars. You might run a seminar in-house and then the next day do a webinar that's delivered to your clients wherever they're located. And even in capital cities, some of your clients who are located in outlying suburbs may far prefer to participate in a webinar. So let's just have a look at that seminar on that same subject we just looked at, the characteristics of a well-run business. There's some organisational material, which I'm not going to take you through, but there's a whole stack of organisational material. General hints on the presentation. I will show you some of these. General hints on the presentation of a seminar. Some people are not used to doing this sort of work. Have a practice run first. Use staff training as the practice runs. We suggest that if you have a number of these seminars that you would invite other professionals to participate, bank managers, insurance company, financial planners, patent attorneys, perhaps, general consultants. And then once a year you have an annual forum where you invite all those people back, you invite all the clients that have participated, and you try to get a real spirit developing. So that's what that one's about. There's suggested timetables. So we've worked out the timetables for the various seminars. So this is the suggested timetable for this characteristics of a well-run business. You see 45 minutes on the main subject. And then we've got the paper itself. There's the paper on characteristics of well-run business. But what I didn't show you before was the PowerPoint slides. So I'm going to show you the PowerPoint slides this time. So there's a set of PowerPoint slides for every paper in this system. There are 570 papers. You can place your logo on the PowerPoint slides, if you're a subscriber, of course. So there's the PowerPoint slides that you could use in your seminar presentation. The whole idea is to talk to the papers, not to stand up and read them. Try and get a discussion going. The attendees can read the paper later on. In lots of cases, they're interested in some discussion on some of these points so that they can try to relate them to their own business. So hopefully that gives you a viewing of what's included. And we're now going to move on to the Business Plus client newsletter. This is targeted at small, medium enterprises. We prepare it and send it to you, and you can then badge it and send it to your clients. You can edit the material if you wish, but you're then responsible for it. Some people do add an additional page because they've got some local events that they wish to comment on. The Business Plus newsletter is uploaded to our website on the second Friday of a month at 12:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So we're going to go on and pick So this is the issue for May 2017. I'll get my highlighter again. This area here, which is badged ESS BIZTOOLS, we're saying to you there, please remove our name and logo and put your own in there. We only include this because if you become a subscriber to ESS BIZTOOLS, we're going to invite you to give us the email addresses of all of your team. So we will automatically email this newsletter to them each month so that they're aware of it. So we suggest you put your own logo on then, and you're able to then send this to your clients. We do try to write the material so it is neutral. We deliberately avoid real controversies. We don't want to upset any of your readers. So we've got an article here on crowdsourced funding. We've been running a number of articles on crowdsourced funding. Leadership thoughts. The newsletter is never more, it's always 4 A4 pages. We've got some notes on taxation, but we only really have one article a month on taxation. We do not view this as being a taxation service. There are other people do that. But interestingly, when we talk to small business operators, many of them are critical of getting a newsletter that's full of taxation material from their accountants because they believe that's your worry. You've got to look at the taxation issues. Capability statements are becoming a very important part of a business's armour to help get work, especially of big businesses or government departments. So we had an intro article on that, and we're going to write more in the next edition. Supply chains are everywhere and becoming more and more important that SMEs understand how they fit in. The differentiation of your business, looking at what your competitors are supplying, what your customers are looking for, and identifying whether your business is really delivering what your customers are looking for. So what do you do well? What are your customers wanting? But more important, just as important, what are your competitors doing well? And are you adequately competing with them? That's what that little article is about. And we also mentioned that the government is now proposing to introduce legislation to allow proprietary limited companies to participate in crowdsourced funding. Crowdsourced funding in its original concept commences on the 29th of September 2017. Because of the delays in getting legislation passed and then the phase-in period, we don't believe that any new legislation would be operational until March, April 2018. But we're alerting clients that this might happen, so you can think about it. And we've also got an opening comment on the temporary skills shortage visa, which has been introduced by Federal Parliament, and we're committed to write more about that in the next issue. So that's how the Business Plus article is written. You can send that to your clients. And many of the articles finish with this type of wording. If you would like to have a discussion with us about assistance that we can give you to determine whether you are eligible to be classified as a crowdsourced funding company, and then discussions read the requirements of the legislation relative to company directors, officers, managers, as well as an outline of the duties, responsibilities and power of intermediaries, please contact us for a discussion. So the vast majority of these articles are a call to action to your clients, asking them to come back and talk to you. This is a marketing tool to generate business for your firm. We have past newsletters available within the system. We produce newsletters on the federal budget as it affects small businesses. Just have a brief overview of this. It can be longer than 4 pages, of course. Depends what's in the budget. So we closely examine the budget and identify the issues which might be of interest to SMEs. And on the day after the budget, around about 1 p.m, we produce this article, which is sent to all of us. Well, it's uploaded to our website. Our subscribers receive an email and they can then download it, badge it and send it to their subscribers. So that's the Business Plus newsletter. If you wish, you can also access editions going back about 3 years. And we also have an archive going way back for the 8.5 years that we've been producing this newsletter. It is produced every month except January. And there are 2 editions in May each year. One on the federal budget as affects small business and the second one on an end of year tax planning checklist. The next area we have in the system is leadership modules. The leadership materials have been written by a special consultant for us, Peter McDougall, who was a former colonel in the Australian Army. And when he left the Army, he developed a business called Leadership Academy, and that business develops material for training of businesses. And when I talked to him about this, it was primarily large businesses and government departments. I talked him into developing the material for small, medium enterprises. So I'm just going to show you one of these articles. So they're in this series, the 900 series. So this is the facilitator's guidance material. It guides them through. And there's a full set of PowerPoint slides which this material links to. Leadership's very important, and our recommendation is that you ensure that the team, especially the people we call the champions under business advisory services, participate in this leadership training so that they understand their responsibilities as leaders, because the firm is going to be basically offering a chief financial officer service to your clients, and the accountants who are involved in the delivery of this really can benefit from some leadership training, and the material is all there. Now, some of our subscribers then use this material to run some preliminary leadership training for individual clients. Peter McDougall is very keen to be involved in follow-up discussions, so if you want to talk to him, you can do so. He's included his telephone numbers for you to contact him if you wish to talk to him. And he does work with some of our subscribers around Australia to actually deliver some leadership training material in workshops all over Australia in conjunction with the accounting firm. Identifying government grants. There's over $3 billion per annum in grants. We have a separate product that's delivered on a separate website. That the subscription to ESS Biz Grants is part of the package, but it's delivered on a separate website. So this is ESS Biz Grants. You are invited as part of the material that you will be reading to log onto this site and start a free trial that can go for 14 days. So it's your guest login type basis so that you can visit I haven't got the username readily at hand here at present, so normally on my computer it's direct link, so I won't be able to show you that, but you can click on once you've logged on to get a 2-week trial for 1 or 2 of your clients. The sections and papers, there are 62 sections which have 570 papers and sets of PowerPoints. So I'm going to show you this now so that you get an overview of what's included in this material. So there's the section headings. And all that has to be done is to click on to a section heading. We'll go to Operating a Successful Business. And it will then show you the papers that are contained within that. We've already looked at characteristics of a well-run business, so we might have a look at Introduction to Key Performance Indicators. You click on the name of the article. There's an executive summary or a précis as to what it's about. You then click on the paper. There's the paper, there's the double lines. You can badge above that if you're a subscriber and sending this to a client. And there's the article that starts talking about key performance indicators and making them aware of what they're all about. There is also a set of PowerPoint slides that accompany each paper. And there's the PowerPoint slides that you might want to use in a staff training or even in a discussion with a client, especially if the client's brought in a number of people for you to have a discussion about some of these issues. I didn't mean to close that down. So you can identify each of the papers as you wish to relate to them. There is a search function in the system. The papers up to section 490 are basically targeted, or 495, are targeted at accountants. Are targeted at small business. The section 500 through to 599 are targeted at accountancy businesses. So if you wanted to have a look at one of those, I wouldn't suggest you make these available to your clients, but they're prepared in exactly the same format that you can then look at a paper and reflect on what we have said. The papers are primarily used for staff training purposes and general review. The product development, just to tell you what we're doing, each year we produce about 10 new papers. We do remove some that if they're no longer applicable. We will prepare around 3 new seminars a year. The business advisory services product packages, I've already told you, we're working on 3 new products, and we envisage that that's going to continue at about 3 a year for a number of years yet. We've got a grand list. The Business Plus client newsletter, there's 13 editions a year, and we're continually doing edits and updates. And obviously for the grants, every new grant that's released by an Australian state or territory government, we incorporate within our system. We have webinars each month. We have a special members webinar that you can ask any questions. We can debate any issue. And we also have what we call a new subscribers webinar, where we take you through a bit like what we're doing here today to familiarise you and your team as to where everything is within the ESS BIZTOOLS. We also produce on a monthly basis what we call Members Alert. This is an article to our members just alerting you to any new material we've included in the system. It also includes a summary of government grant deadline dates for lodgement of applications, and we produce a video just to alert you and give you a short summary of what is in the Members Alert. So thank you very much for joining us on this journey to look at ESS BIZTOOLS. Gold package. Everything that I've shown you today is part of the subscription that you can have. And we look forward to your firm joining us as a subscriber. If you have any questions or comments or criticisms, please send me an email, peter@essbiztools.com.au. I sincerely trust that you enjoy your review of ESS BIZTOOLS. You're most welcome to now proceed for a guest login if you wish. That will give you 30-day access to some of the material within the system. You will get an overview of what's included, but that applies for 30 days. We will send you a welcome email to the 30-day guest login, and we will follow you up at the end of that period. And we really do look forward to you becoming a subscriber. And we would like you to tell us, if you don't become a subscriber, why you didn't, because if there's something we can do to improve our presentation or our quality control, we would really appreciate you telling us. So thank you very much. I hope your firm does decide to go on this journey to provide business advisory services to your clients. We believe that over a 3 to 4 year period, business advisory services should represent at least 40 to 50% of an accountancy business's income as we look at heading towards 2020. Have a great day. Goodbye.